Okay, so we're back with the third video that's going to be in this format about Rome. And by that I mean like me sitting down and talking to you guys and then like basically going through the memories of how the trip went. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how the trip basically ended, and my return home and what that meant for adjusting back into living as an American again. So stay tuned for questions that were asked being answered, and just like a breakdown of all those things in the next couple minutes. All right. So I kind of wrote the questions down, and I just want to go through the ones I didn't already answer. If there's any questions I don't answer during this video and any of the other videos that I've posted already, feel free to contact me and ask them. I'm open to answering questions I actually have answers to. If I don't have the answers, unfortunately, I'll just tell you I don't know. But yeah, so anyway, the first question that I didn't answer in the last one, that I thought I'd touch on a little bit, but I just kind of forgot, was how was my feeling as being a black woman traveling in Rome, or just in Italy in general. That's kind of how they worded it. I didn't have too many issues. It's kind of what I expected, to be honest. Even in America, I have issues with people just like not understanding boundaries when it comes to being a black person, specifically with my hair. One story, I'll just make it super quick. I went to karaoke with some friends, and the first interaction I had was like signing in or whatever, and the guy, I had my hair in a bun, which you saw in one of the videos. The guy right away just grabbed my bun, shook it, and then just like so elated that he was, I don't know, liked the way it looked or whatever. And I immediately tried to ground myself so I wouldn't, yell at him or anything and make it a whole scene. But at the same time, I did address it and just told him, yeah, don't ever do that to me or any other black person that you see. I thought it was interesting that I had any kind of discrimination toward me, or whatever you want to call it, because there were black people there. I saw so many black people. I think I'd see anyone that would look like me, but I saw a lot of black people walking around. So another question I was asked, which I think is really funny, is am I fluent in pasta? I don't think I am. I had a lot more pizza than I had pasta when I was there, which is unfortunate because the pasta was amazing, and now that I'm home, I'm like craving it like crazy. But the food that I did have, the pasta I did have, was really amazing, as I mentioned already. One of the staples of pasta that they have in Rome is called carbonara, which I actually learned how to make in a pasta making class, which I'll make a whole nother video of so you guys can see. But yeah, their pasta is fresh because they're making it as they're getting the orders, I assume. And even when I wasn't eating it like that, say I had it at home, cooking for myself, the pasta was super fresh, and they're made from eggs from the chickens who are fed only carrots. The egg comes out orange, and it's like super fresh and healthy. It's a whole thing. But anyway, it was really good. I don't think I'm fluent in pasta, but I would love to be at some point. Someone just asked a super vague question, which was, how's my time in Rome? I think all the other videos and my posts about Rome kind of explains that I had a great time. I loved it. I would definitely love to go back. Maybe under different circumstances. And obviously, once everything clears up with the coronavirus, I would absolutely want to do that trip. Okay, so the real question that everybody has asked me, and really the point of this whole video, is, do I have to be quarantined, and what was my experience coming home from Rome to America, the whole process. So let's just start with, when I left Rome, I went through three airports, the Italian airport, and then I went through Switzerland, and then we arrived in Newark Airport. Through all those airports, myself and my classmates were asked if we had visited China in the past 2 weeks, and then we were also asked if we had handled any livestock, I believe. They didn't really ask us too many questions, which we all thought was strange, especially since we were expecting to be like tested to see if we had the coronavirus, so on and so on. Luckily, we made it home safely to our families. And our school had advised us to be self-quarantined just to prevent spreading anything in case we actually did contract the virus, and to watch ourselves to make sure that if we develop any symptoms, we would know the next steps to go to the hospital and so on and so on to get checked. I went an extra step and I called my doctor to ask if he could test me to see if I had contracted the virus. He unfortunately could not, because he doesn't have the test to do it, which people are learning not everybody does. It's like specific stations you have to go to, specific hospitals you have to go to. So I then called the health department of Newark to find out if there's anything else I could do just to, stay on top of the game. They also told me the same thing. So essentially, I just kind of stayed in the house for 2 weeks, away from my father who has a transplant. So I didn't want to, if I did have any symptoms, I didn't want to risk him catching it and then having a worse time because of his immune compromise. And that was pretty much it. So I've been in the house for 2 weeks. I self-quarantined. There are other versions of that are going around. If a doctor were to prescribe you because you came in contact with someone who has contracted the coronavirus, or if you work in a place where there are a lot of patients or people who are going in and out that have high potential of having a coronavirus, and if you actually have it. So that's another thing, though. That's if you're actually being isolated. So I haven't had to deal with those things. I've just kind of been in my room drawing, catching up on homework. Thank you all for reaching out to me and asking if I'm okay. I'm doing well, trying to stay positive and uplifted. It was pretty depressing having to come home early in the trip that you were like planning on for months, half a year almost. So having to come home and that being my welcome was pretty abrupt and kind of just like, I don't know, it just didn't feel as good as I thought coming home would be. But now that I am home, I'm happy. Obviously, I'm grateful that we made it home safely to our families. The last part of the video got cut off, but I wanted to come back and just say thank you to everyone that's reached out to see if I was okay, how I'm doing, checking in on me, and my feelings at the end of this trip. I've seen the questions and being interested in even any of this. I just encourage everyone to stay healthy and safe. Do what you need to do to make sure you and your family are good, but also remember to stay calm. This is something that everyone is dealing with. You're not the only one going through a hard time right now. So just be as patient and understanding of the people around you, including your coworkers and your classmates. Yeah, that's all we can do now. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Bye.